I'm Massimo, and this is Ushai, the path of change and transformation. Today I want to share a reflection born from 30 years of walking in the spiritual world, an intense journey full of discoveries, wonder, but also shadows, an honest account to protect those who are searching, and to remind us that true spirituality cannot be bought. It must be lived. I've spent 30 years living in and observing the world of alternative spirituality, ancestral medicines, and ceremonies. Not a brief experience, but 3 decades of seeking, meeting, and observing. And today I feel the need to tell you what I've seen, not to judge, but to offer a clear and honest perspective. Because among the light and the shadows of this path, there are truths worth recognizing. In the 1990s, those who approached these teachings did so quietly, with respect. People studied, listened, and tried to understand distant traditions. Then came the internet, social media, the wellness marketing industry. And so spirituality became visible, shareable, but also marketable. I've seen deep practices turned into experiences. I've seen self-proclaimed masters appear everywhere. I've seen the sacred transformed into a product for the wellness market. Ayahuasca, kambo, cacao, rapé, sound ceremonies, all packaged, photographed, promoted. And yet, behind all this noise, the authentic heart of the search risks being lost. I'm not speaking from hearsay. I've lived in indigenous communities in the Brazilian and Peruvian jungle, where these traditions are born. I've spoken with elders and healers, and do you know what I discovered? Many of the ceremonies we know today in the West do not exist in their original form. Cacao, for example, was truly sacred for the Maya and the Aztecs. It was offered to the gods, used as currency, drunk in spiritual rituals, consumed by the nobility. But the concept of a cacao ceremony, as we see it today, with New Age music and Western-style rituals, is a recent creation, born from spiritual marketing. This does not mean that these modern practices have no value or cannot be effective. But, as I discovered, this happens with many practices that are born from a sincere desire for connection, but are reinvented to fit the market. I have seen indigenous people perform roles that were not truly theirs, pushed by spiritual tourism. I've seen Westerners with no training leading dangerous ceremonies. And I've seen people suffer, sometimes seriously, not from lack of faith, but from lack of discernment. But I want to tell you this as well. In these 30 years, I have also met authentic guides, quiet elders, who guard knowledge without promoting themselves. People who serve without asking for anything in return. I remember a healer in Peru who refused payment because he said, "The medicine chooses whom to heal, I am only an instrument. They do exist, and those who seek sincerely can find them and recognize them. Behind this world, often bright on the surface, lies a deep human fragility. People in crisis look for quick answers, and they find guides who promise instant healing or immediate awakening. But the truth is that there are no shortcuts. When we hand our vulnerability to someone without solid roots, the risk is immense. Emotional dependencies are created. The guide becomes an absolute reference point. Anyone who doubts is excluded. And so, often in good faith, people end up trapped in dynamics that take away freedom instead of giving it. I've seen psychological and emotional abuse, but I've also seen courageous people rise again, choosing to return to themselves. Some signs you should never ignore. If a guide asks you to distance yourself from loved ones, if you must keep secret what happens, if you constantly feel inadequate, if after months you feel more confused instead of clearer, these are signs to take seriously. True spiritual growth makes you stronger, not more fragile. It brings you back to life. It doesn't separate you from it. After 30 years, the greatest lesson I've learned is that authentic spirituality doesn't need appearances. It doesn't live in spectacular rituals, nor in titles, nor in promises. It lives in silence, in listening, in daily coherence. It requires courage. The courage to say, "This doesn't resonate with me," even when everyone around you seems enlightened. The courage to choose inner truth over outer fascination. And above all, it requires responsibility toward yourself, toward others, and toward life. Perhaps this is what true growth really is. Understanding that the path of change has no masters, only witnesses, and each of us can become one if we remain faithful to our own truth. I'm not telling you to stop searching. I'm inviting you to search with open eyes, to always ask yourself, who is guiding me? What am I truly learning? After this path, do I feel freer or more dependent, stronger or more fragile, more connected to life or more separated from it? True spirituality is not taught, it is transmitted, and its essence is one word: honesty. After 30 years, that is all I can offer. Thank you for being here with me. If these words have touched you, share them with someone you feel close to. Goodbye. See you in the next episode. I'm Massimo, and this is Ushai, the path of change and transformation.